again to Power Time. This is the Power RN, Sharon Herbert, coming to you live from Power in Nursing. So it's good to see you again on this Saturday where we will talk about what's upcoming for the world of nursing and maybe a few old things that we can swirl around. Today's topic is transformation, transforming nursing, transforming nursing. So, the Power RN will speak to you. Today, we'll talk about something really close to us, ourselves. How we talk about transforming our practice and operating in our purpose, finding our power, and living our best nurse life. So that's the mantra of Power in Nursing. And it's all about transformation. Transforming your practice is the first line. And wait a minute, what is transform? What does that mean? Does that mean getting out? Does it mean getting out of our practice? Does it mean running away from our practice? Oh, oh no, oh no. It doesn't mean that. What does transform? Transform is defined by Webster as change, changing in appearance or form. It doesn't mean running away. It doesn't mean dumping. It means change. And oh, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. We know that change can be scary. Change can be scary. Whoever signs up to be the first to get something new or different, ah, unless it's a pair of shoes, not me, not usually. So, what can we do to transform who we are and what we do and operating still in our purpose and still being our best nurse ever, ever, ever? Transformation can lead you to thinking about your dreams. Your dreams. You always wanted to be a nurse. You became a nurse and you found that, well, you kind of like it. It's not all what you expected, but there's something that's still within you that leads you to want to fulfill that dream of being the best nurse ever, the best nurse ever. And you've found that the healthcare system, as you've known it, has changed a lot. It's changed a lot from the time you became a nurse. And maybe that was a year ago, and maybe that was 5 or maybe 20 years ago. Things have changed. The healthcare system has changed, and what you've learned in your school of nursing and even in your practice may not really have kept up with where you've landed in this last year. You know, we're not going to name the year, but we know what year we're talking about. That dreaded pandemic came upon us and it changed a lot of things for a lot of people. So, what have you thought about? What have you thought about? And we're not just talking about new processes, we're talking about processes, education, innovation. What things have come to your mind that you have thought of could change the world of the pandemic, change what we've gone through over the last year? What have practicing nurses found that they would wish they had known a year ago? Well, we know now. We still are struggling with PPE, and that has been a challenge. What do you wish you knew last year that you know now? One of the things could be the guidelines for use of PPE. What we knew when we got out of school and even when you started in your practice has changed a lot. The guidelines may still be written as they were, but don't you wish you had known a year ago that you might run out of those supplies? And it's going to be catch as catch can to get your masks and to get your gowns. And then who's going to be in charge of the supplies? And wait a minute, what supplies will we even have? So, those things are what we think about when we're talking about transforming our practice. And we know we're on the front line. Nurses are there. We've used the items. We've called our supervisors and said we're out of or we're running out of those items. What can we do to change the way that we function within this changing healthcare system? Now, that's what we're talking about when we're talking about transforming. We're talking about what we can do to be better, to have better outcomes for our patients, and even encourage each other to be our best selves and have our best lives. Transformation can also be about living your dream. Maybe once upon a time is a story, we wanted to be a nurse practitioner, but then you came to work at your nearby hospital and you settled into med-surg nursing, and you weren't sure that you were going to stay there, but it's become okay with you. You get to do discharge teaching for your patients, and you've grown to love that, and it works for you. Now, COVID has come along. It's made that a little different. What you do every day probably has changed a lot, and you still have to do discharge teaching, but sometimes you have to work with a higher patient load and sicker patients, and it's become something that you think, I wonder how long I'm going to do this. And once again, you're thinking, well, I had a dream about being a nurse practitioner, and I put that to the side. Well, it's still in you. And you're thinking, could I? Would I? Maybe that's what we're talking about when we're talking about transformation. You're not going to throw in the towel. You're going to build upon your dream. And as you think about that, you're not thinking of leaving nursing. You're thinking of growing your career so that you can change its shape and change its form, but you're still going to be a nurse and you're going to operate in your purpose. Your purpose is to do what you do to care for your patients. Your purpose is going to lead you to transform your practice, operate in your purpose, and finding your power will give you the strength to do what you always dreamed of doing, being your best self and living your best life. Your transformation can lead you to your dream of becoming a nurse practitioner, or even your dream of advanced practice nurse practitioner, maybe doctor of nursing practice, maybe just simply getting your certification, and that's not really simple, to be the expert medical surgical nurse clinician that lends a hand to new grads and to your colleagues in times of need. You will be the clinical expert and you will love your life. Doesn't that sound great? That's transformation as well. You as a clinical expert, and maybe you will choose your certification and you will find that your organization will pay for you to get that certification. And that is a special prize for you. So, transformation. Transformation is in order for the nurses and the world of nursing. So, we have to consider our education. That's another form and process for transformation in the world of nursing. Transformation, more opportunities to increase your expertise in your clinical practice. More specialties are available, and it will encourage more nurses to stay in focus with expanding their practice, not running away. No, we're not talking about running away. We're talking about transformation. So, having said that, keep in your mind or go back to your little dream box and find what's there. It's still there. If it's still there and you haven't looked for making that change, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You don't have to go alone. The power in nursing is here, and our forum is here to encourage and lead you to expanding your practice through the transformation, operating in your purpose, becoming that clinical specialist, or even doctor of nursing practice. Expand your dreams, reshape your dream to meet your purpose, find your power, and live your best life. The Power RN can lead you there, and she is welcoming you to join her on the road to transformation and living your best nurse life. Find the Power RN on Facebook. We're right there. Drop me a line and we'll connect to help lead you to living your best life as a professional nurse. It can be done, it will be done, and the Power RN will lead you on the road. Thanks for joining Power Time again. We'll talk more about transformation and the next steps in leading you to your best nurse life. The Power RN is here for you. So let's get on the trail and get on the road right away. Right away. Thank you so much. And look out for the Power RN everywhere. Everywhere. Thank you guys. And don't forget, you kings and queens are the best thing in the healthcare system. God bless you, and we'll see you next time on Power Time.